Hey everybody, hi, it's Rob again from Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. And sorry about that. This is going to be like video number 3 for October 22nd, 2023. It's now 5:30 in the morning. My last video cut off because I ran out of room on the computer. Then I spent a few hours, or like an hour or more, having to transfer the videos from my laptop onto the external hard drive before I can check to see if they all made it there without losing my videos again. And once I was able to determine that, then I was able to erase that folder off my computer, and now I have space again to continue on with the video. So we were right here looking at the Donruss cards from the last video. And in the last video, I did a recap on the recent stuff that I picked up, which you can see on any of the previous 2 videos, but I'd started off opening these. The Flair 87 cards, it's a beautiful set, but didn't get anything. Then we moved on to the Donruss 87, which these ones have been pretty nice looking, pretty good centering and all that, and halfway through the pack is when the video cut off, so we'll continue. This is where we had dropped off, so I'm going to set these aside for a minute and just kind of recap and show you what we got before this, and then we'll move on to the 86 tops. But here's the Flair. I got these a little out of order now, but Bill Buckner was the last card. That was probably the nicest, along with this Jose Canseco. And we got these. They got nice backs. So just hopefully, unless I edit these 2 together, which I probably won't, you can just watch the previous video where I talk more about these sets. But really didn't get much in this Flair box or pack. The William Shaw. And then we did get the Kent Tukaliv, which I did show the archive signature series of him. I got 85 Pittsburgh with a nice autograph across his yellow jersey for the Pirates. And if anyone's looking to trade that for an Ginter archive signature series, be open to that. And then we got these Donruss. I got this part of the Clemente puzzle. Fell asleep for a little while. That was taking forever to transfer because it was like 27 videos and they were like an hour almost each. So basically all the videos that you've seen uploaded up to this point were on the computer, except for some of them came from my phone, so I need to download those also onto that external hard drive to clear that off my phone. But got the Ron Goodry, and so here was a good example of a really nice looking card for Donruss in 87. It's pretty well centered, and just a beautiful set, and plus they have beautiful backs. So 87, it's a tough call which one's the prettiest set. I like 87 tops myself, but I don't know, when you get Donruss and they're good from 87, that makes a good run for the money. And those 87 players are really good looking too. They were more the high end that year. But just wanted to catch you up to where we are. I haven't looked at the other cards. There's the Bruce Bochy. That's a pretty nice one. Well centering top to bottom, left to right. yeah, just really nice. Eric Plunk. So I'm just going to have to transfer these videos a little more often, at least once a week. Toby Hara, Gary Templeton, and then these are the cards that I picked up at the local card, or some of the cards I picked up at the local card shop today. 2020 Allen Ginter Chrome, Dawson, 1990 Upper Deck Andre Dawson Chicago Cubs checklist card. Then this SP Legendary Cuts Andre Dawson that I've never seen before. Picked this up in the dollar box. So it's a pretty nice stock. It's not flimsy like this, like the Donruss and Flair have been so far. But that's a cool new one for my Dawson collection. I got the Jake LaMotta 2011 on Allen and Ginter. I didn't know if I had this one or not, but still a cool card of the boxer. And then this Reggie Jackson, because I don't remember this insert set from 2019 Allen and Ginter. I probably have some, just don't remember. But apparently I must not have got a lot, because I don't remember it all. And I don't know, I don't remember ever seeing this one, so if it is new for me, that's a check off the list of different Allen and Ginters that I didn't have. Alright, so that stuff goes back in the box, and we shall continue and see what else we got at Donruss. Got Dave Clark, Mickey Hatcher. So now we're starting to come into some centering problems, which is typical of Donruss. And Steve Jeltz. Don't remember that. Scott Bales. That one's got some pretty nice centering, but I don't know him. Probably going to be the best card of the pack, mostly a common pack. Fernando Valenzuela. So by 1987, he had a 2.94 career ERA, but only, well, he had 99 wins, 68 losses, but look at that, 86. He had 21 wins, so he led the league apparently. Probably when he came out was a hot deal, was 19 wins, so yeah, had some pretty good, you know, at least 100 wins and below 3 ERA. By that point, I don't know how much longer he played, but he was pretty phenomenon. Early 80s. Jeff Lathy. And to end it off, we got a Kelly Gruber. So I'd say about what did I say? This was like 14 card pack. 15 cards, I would say about 10 of them were pretty good center. 2 of them were just a little off, and then the rest of them kind of had some centering issues, but it's pretty good for Donruss. And once again, beautiful design. I love this little gold with the baseballs here, framed by these 2 yellow things, black, and then this rounded rectangle. They had some nice images, along with beautiful backs. Very clear, easy to read. Of course, they don't have as many stats as some of the other ones, but you know, 87 Donruss, underrated set, really good. As is a 87 Flair, because most everyone talks about 87 tops like I do. But yeah, just spectacular year for cards. Overproduced, not as bad as later, but 87 Donruss is a beautiful set. and there are highlights, and you know, like their update that they did at the end of the year, super beautiful too. They had like the burgundy and I think the blue. With this design, just yeah, excellent. They knocked it out of the park that year, except for the quality control. And all three of them had pretty flimsy stock, so um, you can find your player or your team or whatever it is you collect or a complete set, and you can get it well centered. You know, if you can get a set that was like as nice as that card there, yeah, you'd have a rare one, because I don't know how many cards are in the set, 600 and something, but if you can get them like that, you know, you'd have a really nice set. But to put together a set that nice, you know, maybe, I don't know, I imagine they had complete sets you can buy, and you might get lucky and find one that was already done that well. Or trying to put one together would probably be worth more than it cost. I mean, cost more than it's worth. Have a few hot tamales because just kind of woke up, need a little energy. Bust open another Dr. Pepper Zero from a voice. So then we'll move on to this. Get an Andre Dawson. Maybe I'll take a bite out of that gum, as long as it's not rancid. No promises. Excuse me while I took a drink. Alright, so I did get a few 86 tops when they came out. Like when I was a kid in Little League and stuff like that, I would pick up some baseball cards here and there. But I really got going in 87. I think when I visited my cousins in Chicago, and they were already collecting for a couple years, like major, picking up a lot of stuff. And I would more pick up oddball stuff like in cereal and just Big League Chew and stuff like that. Those were more the cards that I would get, and a few packs here and there. But then in 87 I really started collecting all three major ones, plus Sport Flicks and the oddball product issues. And then you know, and then the little boxes, like kind of like the Kmart, stuff like that too. And that went on for a few years. I never did as much as I did in 87 until maybe now with the Allen Ginters. As you see, I've been doing a lot of that. So alright, let's look for any telltale signs of opening before. Looks pretty good. Got the wax stain in the right spot on this card. So let's try to be gentle with this wax. So we can take a look at the wrapper. Hope it's not. There's always like one corner that never wants to cooperate, as you can see here. I did pull Dwight Gooden out of one of these in 1986, which was his rookie. So pull these out first, set them aside, and see what we got on the gum card. That's a good thing about tops, though, is you can so you can see that there gum stain. So yeah, I won't be chewing on that because it looks like it got a little, maybe a little mold or something. It looks like glue. Yeah, the gum doesn't look good. So I guess there's enough humidity in California to make that not edible. And I can't have mold like penicillin. So yeah, good thing I didn't promise you anything. So there's your 86. Going a trip to the 87's spring training. This one's just advertising more of that. And then the special sets offer here was the 3 and the 4. So you can see who was on that send away cards. Those would be premiums. Premiums used to be what I would call like the food issues, but I guess I'm wrong. Premiums like the send in, and those are usually like those glossy commemorative like all-star cards. But there you go. Carlton Fisk, Hall of Famer. Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. Tom Sears, Hall of Famer. Saberhagen, I believe. Carter. So half those dudes are all Hall of Famers. Then the set 4, Mattingly, Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer. Ryan Sandberg, Hall of Famer. I think Jim Rice. So looks like he had up to 6 sets of these, which you could get. Let's see what it says about it here. Collect 6 special offer cards and order any one of 6 10-card sets of All-Star Hot Prospects. Mail special offer cards and check or money order for $1. No cash for each set order. Details on special offer card expires December 15th, 1986. So, sorry you can't order those anymore, but those were really cool cards, those commemorative ones. Alright, so there we go. Another cool thing about them too is tops you can still smell the gum. So, but unfortunately you get this where it sticks to a card, and I mean I've seen worse. There you go, you got your gum stain. Okay, that's another special number for me. I told you about these little number Easter eggs. So 614 is another big date for me. If you care to, you can make your guess in the comments. So not only do you get wax stains, but you get gum stains. So, but Rick Waits, sorry, you know, that card's basically goner. Alright, so usually half the pack is the cards are facing this way and the other half the pack's facing that way. So I'm going to go to the special offer card and get these all facing the right direction. Oh, so these will have upside down cards and backwards and stuff like that. But there's your Spring Fever, which is kind of interesting looking one to me because I'm so used to 87. They were red, just like this. Similar to this, I should say. But I always kept those. Those were the ones that I would put in between, like 100. You know, like after 99, then I'd put one of these, and then after 199, I'd put one of these. So these were my separators. And so these are the kind of things, I mean, you'd probably throw away most of them. But you should always keep a few of these, you know, kind of show what they were all about at the time. And people like that for the really old stuff and like pre-war, you know, other than some tobacco boxes. It'd be great to see some of the stuff that came with like the caramels and stuff like that. You don't see a whole lot of that. Maybe some Colgan chips tins or something like that. But you can read that if you like. And then here's the small print. This is pretty standard stuff through the 80s that you would get with tops. Alright, that's pretty good. So, Pretty neat. Piece of ephemera that's kind of cool. If somebody was like a set collector and didn't want just the baseball card, you know, you might want to add this to your collection. If you're an 86 Topps collector, then you might want one of the wrappers that had all the different, you know, each number of these. You know, you'd want the one that had the one in the, you know, the other is set 3 and 4, so you might want a wrapper that had set 1 and 2 and then set 5 and 6. And then sometimes they had different offers on there, you know, like ordering some hat or something like that. So somebody who's like more like what I do with Allen and Ginter, let's say 2006, would want an example of each kind of thing that they did that year, like the hobby box, the blaster box, the hobby wrapper, the blaster retail wrappers, maybe even the fat pack wrappers. And I used to work at Target, and I actually had one of the gravity feeder, Allen and Ginter gravity feeders that they were going to throw away or recycle, and I tossed it aside. I think I threw it on top of the freezer because I was going to take it later, but then I forgot about it and never retrieved it. I wonder if it's still sitting there. If one of the people I still know works there, maybe you can find it for me. That'd be a cool one to have. So nevertheless, let's get on with this Topps. So I believe this is a new Hall of Famer. I think Alexa, is Ted Simmons in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Ted Simmons was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 20,206. He got 81.3% of the vote.
2006, I guess is what she's saying. So there you go. There's a Hall of Famer. Not familiar with him. Didn't watch the American League. 200 plus home runs. See, Topps, it gives you a lot more information than, say, Donruss, but it's a little harder to read. But that's what I like about the 80s, like this one. What I love about Topps, the old ones, just plain simple cardboard. Doesn't need to be all super shiny and super all this and that. I don't mind some of that stuff, but I do like these, you know, old days cards. Kind of an old style classic. So 86 was a pretty nice set. Obviously you would have issues with the black, you know, getting chipped. There you go, Hall of Famer number 1. And then we got Hall of Famer number 2 here. So Ozzie Smith, that's got some centering issues. The Ted Simmons looks really good centered, so I might have to put that one aside. Ozzie Smith, Hall of Famer, but poorly centered. So, but that's got a pretty bright back. Seems slightly brighter, like the red inside here seems a little deeper than this one. I don't think that would make much of a difference in grading unless it was super obvious. But that centering is gonna, you know, knock that card to like an 8 at best. Pack fresh, but bad center. So yeah, each half the pack was facing this way, half the pack was facing that way, and then every card is this. So that sucks. Tony Dunbar. Put our Hall of Famers over here. Alright. So these have been sitting in a box for almost 30 years. Ricky Horton. Oh, that's got a little something different going on there. The Talking Baseball. This one's got some damage, as you can see. So I don't think that was like a printing issue or a factory issue. It's probably just banged around in all these years, and something got pushed down, and this card was probably the one sitting the highest. So Mike Morgan took one for the team. Dave Concepcion, bad centering. Glenn Brummer, a little better centering, but still off. Alrighty, Yankees leader card. I don't know if that means much back then, but that's Ricky Henderson. So there's a Hall of Famer. But this got some wax damage, so this must have been one of the back cards along the wax. And it's got a little dimple, like a little wave or something in it. But nevertheless, it's still a decent looking card. That's kind of, some of those commemorative cards had some looks like that, I think, at some point in time, but I might be wrong there. No, I think the mini ones that they did later, like the cards that were like this big, the kind of glossies were looking like this, so disregard that. But still, Ricky Henderson, so someday somebody might be like, I want that card, and I don't care if it has that. So that's going to go off to the side. It's former Albuquerque Duke, and a pretty solid player for the Dodgers. Pedro Guerrero. You know, look at those home runs. He had pretty good years. 30 plus. You know, you have 1, 2, 3 years of 30 plus home runs, batting .308. So yeah, he was a good player. And I don't remember ever seeing any of these. These are turn back the clock cards, so there's not Hall of Famer, but should be. And maybe someday will be. Probably post after he's dead. I can't think of the word right now. But your all-time hit leader. So Pete Rose. This is like a turn back the clock, something similar to that. Pete Rose years. So that's a cool card. Never seen these before. And in the back in the day, like the turn back the clock kind of cards or something similar to this, were kind of just looked down as garbage. But now people are even finding those collectible from like the stuff in the 60s and stuff like that, that throw back to like the 30s. So someday this might be a deal. There's that 68 set that I really like, that one. So that's cool. I'll set that aside. Then we got our next Hall of Famer. We've got some Hall of Famers in this pack, so this is a winner. Poorly centered Tom Seaver, the horrible White Sox uniform. So, still a Hall of Famer. And the next Hall of Famer is a All-Star card, which these used to be worth not much of anything, but now, same thing like the turn back the clocks, the All-Stars are even getting their day in the sun, because it's a bit cheaper way to get, you know, some of the great players like Mickey Mantle or Hank Aaron or Willie Mays. The All-Star cards are definitely cheaper, but they're actually moving up because, you know, supply and demand, and demand for one of their regular cards is so high, and you know, and the amount of good cards for, like, say, a Mickey Mantle are not super high, so people will go for the lower grades, and then that pushes the people that wouldn't have gone for the lower grades out of that market, and then they'll start buying stuff like this, and if they can't get this, then they'll get like the league leader cards or the you know, like that Ricky Henderson, like the Yankees checklist and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, that one's pretty good center. So that's actually a really nice Hall of Famer card. So someday this might be a good one for something to got. Plus, it's got the names of some pretty good players on there. Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. Brett, Hall of Famer. Henderson, Hall of Famer. Baines, Hall of Famer. Molitor and Murray, Hall of Famers. You can argue for Bradley. Excuse me, I mean Buckner. And Don Mattingly. So that may be in 20, 25 years what your you know, like a Nolan Ryan strikeouts leader card is today. And we're going to end up with a couple comments. Ron Reynolds of the Mets and David Green. Just got a little wax or something going on here. So honestly, that was actually a pretty good set. We had some decent you know, we had our fill of commons, but you know, Pedro Guerrero's good. Dave Concepcion. So you got a couple, what you probably call star cards. Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer, a bad centering. Not a Hall of Famer, but should be. Maybe. And one of those cards that it's like, hey, it was his playing career still. And a throwback at the same time. So then the leaders card, that's what I was talking about. So it's Hall of Famer, but stained on the back, so that goes in the okay. Ozzie Smith off-centered. So Hall of Famer. Ted Simmons. Not a high Hall of Famer, but very well centered and a solid, good card there. The advertisement, and then the other common. Thank God that's the one that took the hit. No offense to you, Rick Waits. Just toss them in there with those. And so, you know, 2 okay cards. 1, 2, 3 okay Hall of Famer cards, mostly for card condition. 2 good Hall of Famer, well-conditioned cards. So 5 Hall of Famers. And a solid, probably Hall of Fame someday in the future, but probably not till after he's dead, posthumously. So, like 6 solid cards and 2 star cards. So that's pretty good. Tops, I would say 1 the day there. And look at how, because of the backwards nature of how they do it, that they're all kind of all out of whack right now. Kind of a gum smell, not too strong. So I think that the air got at that gum. Alright, so that's the end of that. That is part 2 of that recap and wax break. So now I'm going to stop this and we'll do the next video with those Gypsy Queen, Allen Ginter, and Clearly Authentic. Thanks, Rob, from Old Style Baseball Cards. Old Style Classic Baseball Cards. Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. Signing out, and I'll sign right back on after I take a drink.